How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. Side-by-side time. A little bit of Oktoberfest side-by-side time in the form of Paulaner's Märzen and their Wiesn Oktoberfest. Yeah, they sent these off to me. They send me beer every now and then. They reach out and they're like, hey, gonna be doing any Oktoberfest stuff? We'd like to send you some stuff. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do that. And I had no idea what they were going to send. They're just like, okay, we'll throw some stuff in the mail. And I assumed this is what I was going to get, which is their Märzen. I've had this before. The Wiesn I've never had before. So I thought it'd be a fun little side-by-side, you know, to do for the whole Oktoberfest season. Now, as far as these beers go, obviously this one's a Märzen. This one, you kind of get a little tricky on this one, because you see Wiesn, you think a Weiss beer. That's not the case. The land they actually hold Oktoberfest on, that's like the nickname of it, Wiesn. It's like shortened for the name of the place or whatever. So I kind of looked into this really quick, and both of these are exactly the same malts. Hops, everything are the same on this, just as a slight ABV difference. This one over here comes in at, where did I see it before? 6%, so it's a little bit higher in ABV. This one over here is 5.8, not that big of a difference, but, you know, same hop, same malt, the whole nine. Figured it'd be a fun side-by-side. So let's crack into these. On the back, it reads the same thing on the back of both of them. It says, the secret behind Paulaner's excellent taste and unwavering quality are locally sourced ingredients and tradition of craftsmanship. This has been passed down and perfected by our dedicated brewmaster since 1634. Here in Munich, Paulaner beer is not a mere product, it's a matter of heart. Paulaner.com. My goat's scratching at the old post over there, distracting me. So let's see what these suckers have. Yeah, it is, I forget what it's like the 30th of September. So like I said, we're kind of like almost dead center in the middle of Oktoberfest right now. And yeah, it's brutal hot outside. These look very, very similar. Brutal hot outside. Actually, this one over here is a little bit darker. Yeah, brutal hot outside today. And I thought it'd be awesome, it'll be cool, it'll be October, and go outside, and everything would be like hunky-dory and nice and cool and whatnot. No, it's not the case. Now, craptastic pour man. You know, that's what I do sometimes, so you're not getting the best pours in the history of mankind. But obviously over here, you're seeing much darker beer, as opposed to the Wiesn. This one over here, not that you'd want to attribute higher ABV to darker, but usually that's kind of what you think. You think darker beer is going to be higher ABV. It's not the case here. This has a very caramel malt thing kind of going on. Kind of more classic Märzen. This looks more kind of just like a generic kind of fest beer, which is, I assume, what they're going for that. But usually the kind of ABVs are flipped on that. Kind of surprised at the look, I guess you would say, based off of the ABV on this one. But yeah, dark, rich, copper kind of color over here. Even the head has eking towards khaki-ness, infinite creaminess. And over on here we got your classic kind of lager pilsner kind of color, super uber clear. Both of them are probably uber clear, and this one's got a ever so slightest bit of murk, but that's just because of the color of the beer. I mean, they both look delicious. Let's dive in to the Märzen. Yeah, I mean, it's caramel bittering, soft, spicy bittering to it. Caramel toffee vibes on it. Done and done. I mean, it smells exactly what I want rich Märzen to kind of smell like. Got a nice sweetness to it, that little bit of soft bitterness. Done and done. Let's see what this sucker has. I mean, not much. It's really, I mean, in a perfect world, I probably would have went on the nose on this one first, because those malts are just going to drive over everything in here. But she smells like almost more like Kolschy, like to me, a non-lagered kind of beer, and that she has a soft kind of pilsner malt going on, a little bit of like soft melon fruit maybe. I might even get a little bit of fruit off this, but the malt not nearly as big as the one over here. Nor should it be. So, I mean, this one is definitely overpowering this one for me. I'm not getting much as far as the nose. A little bit of soft malty sweetness, a little bit of pilsner malt in there, and really not much as far as bitterness over there. And this is just that kind of beefed up version with that big kind of rich kind of caramel maltiness and just a little bit of that spicy bittering. So this one comes off a bit bigger, even though it's a lower ABV. I'm going to start over here. Drink this one first. See what we think about the old Wiesn. Cheers. Ooh. Yeah, it's hot out. This is what I want to drink. I could drink that. Oh my God. I wish that was 4%. Broken record here, but man, I guess this is like the beer they serve at Oktoberfest. This is like their big thing. I could be remembering this wrong, but I think even though I haven't had it before, I think this is the beer that they serve at Oktoberfest. Like, this is the only beer they serve at Oktoberfest. If that's the case, I can see why. This is super drinkable. Soft sweetness, a little bit of Pilsner malt, not much as far as lagering vibes. Will come off more ale-like to me than lager. There's a soft melon vibe to it. And that's pretty much it. Super clean, super crisp, has a slight bit of heftiness to it, as opposed to something a bit lighter like a Pilsner or something like that. So that's why it's giving me this kind of ale vibes, but really chuggable, really drinkable. I want to drink the crap out of that beer. Let's dive into the Märzen. Cheers. Ooh, okay. I expected it to be a much bigger beer than this one as far as flavor. I mean, the nose is so much bigger, especially with that rich kind of caramel toffee vibes coming off this one. Not really getting that big of an impact on the taste. It's still there. It's definitely richer. You do get those kind of confectionery, brown sugary toffee caramel vibes, but not nearly as big as the nose would suggest. Nice soft sweetness to it. The bittering is very soft, but it's there. It's definitely done enough to balance off what extra sweetness is there from those richer malts. It's a really well done, classically made Märzen that is infinitely crushable. I mean, this is Crusher City all day long. This one is quite nice, but it's something that's almost like a progression. I'm glad I went the opposite direction, because I usually kind of try to go ABV wise. It's kind of how I think when it comes to doing reviews. And this would be, okay, let's go to Oktoberfest all day. Starting towards the end of the night, let's kick it up a notch. Not that you're going to be kicking up a big notch, both ABV and as far as heftiness goes, as far as the beer and the impact. But it kind of makes sense going this than that. Really, two absolutely well done beers. I mean, listen, I haven't said this in a while, but it's something, I like to say every now and then. I don't talk about beers and say they're really well done just because a brewery sends me stuff. There's a lot of breweries that have sent me stuff that I've pooped all over. It's awesome that Paulaner would send these off, but at the same time, if they are poop, I am going to call poop, and these are not poop. These are probably some of the better kind of late summer, early fall crushers that you could pretty much get your hands on, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I'm kind of surprised how much I like the Wiesn so much. I mean, usually I'd kind of get on my high horse right now and kind of bitch about the ABV on this, being that it's 6%, but good God, it's delicious. It's a chucker. It's exactly what you want to drink when you want to drink good beer, but at the same time, it's also what you want to drink when you want to have good beer, but not have beer be the focus of the conversation. It's kind of what Oktoberfest is. Sure, it exists because of beer, pretty much. But, it's about community. It's about hanging out. It's about, having fun with your friends. And sometimes beer can get in the way of that. A lot of people I know, really it's just about the beer. Whether it be checking in on Tap, going to releases, trading, and doing all that stuff. And really just hyper-focusing on the ancillary things that kind of we miss, that people focus on when it comes to beer nowadays. Instead of focusing on the middle and missing the good part of it, which is the beer itself. And this is just really good beer. So let's talk about it. Are these two of the better kind of Oktoberfest fest beers that I've had as late? Absolutely. I've had my fair share. I've been to, God, how many breweries? I mean, the past month I've been to more breweries than I've probably been in a couple of years. Taco, I just got a dog. That's the main reason why I've been going to all these breweries, trying to get him socialized, get him to grow up to being a good dog, to where he doesn't freak out when we take him out in public. So I've been to a bunch of breweries, and when you're getting this time of year, you're talking about early September to late September, that's Oktoberfest time. So I've had pretty much every brewery's Oktoberfest. These are some of the two, if not the two best ones I've had, period. Value and availability, I mean, it's Paulaner. Chances are these come in 6-packs at a relatively decent price point. Probably can be found pretty much everywhere. I've seen this one a bunch. I don't think I've ever seen this one. Maybe I'm just not looking for it. And leave you with, if you like what we like these beers, if you like beer. If you like beer, if you like beer-flavored beer, if you like Oktoberfest, if you like chuggers, if you like conversation, hanging with your friends while at the same time drinking good beer, but not too pretentious to where it has to be in a sticker can. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you're enjoying your Oktoberfest. If you want to check me out doing the social media, Massive Beers. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting stuff, Beer Massive. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Oktoberfest jams right now, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.